So anyway, watch this, and then we'll talk.
Here's what people are talking about, you guys. President Trump gave his big speech at the UN General Assembly today, and at one point he threatened to totally destroy North Korea. Yeah, he said he has a good plan to do it, too. He's going to run for president of North Korea. So
during the speech, Trump threatened to, quote, totally destroy North Korea. Which I know, well, I think can only mean one thing. Guys, it means he's going to run for president of North Korea.
Trump also said during his address that if North Korea continues working on its nuclear program, the U.S. will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea. Oh, my God. Trump is going to run for president of North Korea.
All right, so as we can see with our eyes and our ears and our hearts and our minds, that isn't possible that those people wrote that same shitty, hacky joke verbatim and did it the same night. It's not possible. And the fact that no one cared or called them out means that they aren't even trying to go for laughs anymore. What it is it's a propaganda machine. It's weaponized comedy. Now, who, you would wonder, would be drawn to a career like that? One of the reasons I tell you guys my credits and I show videos of celebrities praising me and all my credits is not a bragging situation. It's called, there's a term for it in public speech. My dad taught it to me when I was a kid. Credibility to speaker. It speaks on the credibility of the speaker. If I was a random dude versus someone who has been in that world are two very different things. Credibility to speaker. Like just a random person on the street telling you something is a lot different than someone who's been inside. Like a whistleblower that worked. That's why they tried to discredit that whistleblower, Edward Snowden. They said, think whatever you want about the guy. I'm not even here to discuss the principles behind what he did. What I am here to discuss is the character assassination after. He was working for the NSA, like way up. So they said that he was a contractor. He was just a random guy. I read somewhere, I believe I read somewhere that he was a janitor. So the reason they do that is because they attack credibility of speaker. When you have a speaker that's saying something you don't like, you can either contradict what they say, which is impossible for the left because they're wrong about everything, or you can discredit the speaker. Bigot, racist, homophobe, blah, blah, blah. So who would be drawn to that line of work? Of just saying the same, what kind of comedian would be drawn to this?
Here's what people are talking about, you guys. President Trump gave his big speech at the UN General Assembly today, and at one point he threatened to totally destroy North Korea. Yeah, he said he has a good plan to do it, too. He's going to run for president of North Korea.
No!
During the speech, Trump threatened to, quote, totally destroy North Korea.
What's the punchline, you fat cunt?
I know, well, I think can only mean one thing. Guys, it means he's going to run for president of North Korea.
No way, you fat British whore!
Said during his address,
all right, you closet homo, Seth Meyers. What's the joke?
The U.S. will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea.
What?
Oh, my God. Trump is going to run for president of North Korea.
Oh, my God, Seth Meyers, you are so funny. You are so funny, Seth Meyers. You are so funny. Okay, so what kind of a person would be drawn to a job like that where you recite? It's one thing if you're just reciting news or scripts. That's an honorable profession. But when it's under the guise of being a comedian, which is kind of an outsider of society, a pirate, a truth teller, when it's under the guise of comedian, you have an expectation of originality, of not stealing jokes, of being funny, and of course, not being weaponized by the deep state of America. So, what kind of a person would do that? It's the kind of person that has secrets. It's the kind of a person that doesn't want anyone telling the truth. Why? Because they are up to some stuff. Now, that's one reason why entertainment the upper echelon of entertainment, the aristocracy of entertainment, has always drawn narcissists, pedophiles, rapists, murderers, thieves, just really decadent, disturbing people. And you don't really know that when you're a artisan. I would always consider myself in the artisan class of entertainment. Even right up until I got my character assassinated, I was never part of the aristocracy. I was never A-list. I was never even B-list. I was never approved of. And so I was just a working comedian, just like a million, like a Brian Regan, who's, Jim Gaffigan. Those two are both much more successful than me. But that type of dude where you're like, okay, I'm here to tell the jokes. It's like being a plumber. One of my boys who's my neighbor that we're becoming friends is a truck driver. And I say that I'm a truck driver with jokes. It's the same job. I'm just driving. It's just I stop and I tell jokes. So I'm an artisan. So I got to, I was almost approved by these guys. I was approved by a lot of them. And then as time would go on, they'd realize I wasn't one of them. I wasn't in on the secret. I wasn't in on the lie. I wasn't in on the, you don't tell my stuff, I don't tell your stuff, because I don't have stuff. I am a very obvious bear. I've made mistakes in my life. I've had false premises in my life. I've thought wrong things. I've hurt people. I've committed every sin there is, except for murder and adultery. But, dating girls, I was a piece of shit a lot of times. But I was obvious about it. And it wasn't like this whole duplicitous world. Like, there's a type of person that's like, this is my mask when I make the money, and then this is my mask when I bang the kids, right? So, and if you think I'm exaggerating, and one reason that I'm not ever making accusations I can't prove, because I've heard some stuff that would make your skin crawl about a lot of people in entertainment. Stuff that you're like, what? And then it's like, well, who told you that? It's like someone very close to them with a lot of credibility, and you're like, whoa, I don't transmit that information because that hurts my credibility as a speaker. I show you guys what is obvious and in plain sight. Ha 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 ha.